Hey guys, Jason here with another episode of Corner Tree. I bring the self-titled debut EP by upcoming indie and alternative rock band American Authors. As the American Authors EP, this EP was released on August 27th of 2013. Our American Authors are a Boston, Massachusetts-born, Brooklyn, New York City-based indie rock band consisting of Zachary Barrett on lead vocals and guitar, James Andrew Shelley on lead guitar and banjo, Dave Rubin on bass, and Matt Sanchez on drums. Alright, some background information on the band here. Some more. Zachary, James, Dave, and Matt and formed a band called the Blue Pages in 2006 while attending the Berklee College of Music, which is located in Boston. During the band's early years, they were actually obviously located in Boston, or based in Boston, where they began playing live shows and actually recorded their first and debut album as the Blue Pages. Um, After that, however, they decided to take a, a better opportunity and moved to Brooklyn. Took a hiatus for 2 years. In 2012, they came back and formed under the name the American Authors and released their first single, which was Believer. And later in 2012, there in January of 2013, the band signed with Mercury Records. All right, the band's first single, "Believer," gained immediate attention from alternative radio stations. The second single, "Best Day of My Life," really um, caught the band's mainstream, and they caught mainstream attention. This song was featured on number 17 on the U.S. adult pop charts. Was featured in the United States on Lowe's home improvement television commercials, a Hyundai commercial overseas in Europe, a trailer for the movie Delivery Man featuring Vince Vaughn, the opening sequence for ESPN's World Series of Poker coverage, and also the song "Hit It" was on the new FIFA 14 video game soundtrack, which traditionally features young and upcoming artists. So definitely, there's a lot of exposure there for the band to be featured, especially on FIFA. A lot of people go for that stuff, go for that record, and just enjoy the new music because it's international. A lot of worldwide influences on that album as well. So definitely check that out. I've listened to it a couple times. A lot of great new upcoming artists if you're interested in that. All right, let's continue with this review though. Um, I first heard this band actually a couple weeks ago, maybe to a month now. We're listening to the Music Choice Adult Alternative Station on Comcast Cable. Just flipping through one day, like, oh, this band seems interesting. And right from the start, I knew I was going to like the band because of the refreshing alternative and folk rock inspired sound that, at least musically, seems to be a fusion, and when they use guitars, between acoustic and electric guitars mixed with some interesting drum patterns to create songs that are upbeat, have positive vibes, and just feel good messages. They remind me a lot of Mumford and Sons in a way. Definitely Imagine Dragons for sure, and even Jukebox Ghost, whose album I reviewed 2012's Safe Travels earlier this year here, about a month or two ago. So if you're wondering about that, where that kind of line comes in, definitely check that review out. Continuing with a track by track review for this EP, there are 5 tracks. The first track being "Believer." This was the first single that the band released. I believe it was late last year, if I'm not mistaken. This song starts out with an interesting setback drum pattern and banjo pairing that seems to get louder and more danceable as the song progresses. This is especially the case when paired with the catchy hand clap whistle backbeats. Interesting acoustic and electric guitar work as well as during that chorus, especially, and those hand clap and whistle backbeats are all mixed together with the acoustic and the guitar work as well. And the vocals are placed on top of that seem to break through the instrumentation to spread the positive messages of just believing, keeping the faith regardless of how bad things get. And I live near the Chicagoland area, so there was a a horrible tornado outbreak about a week or two ago, a week now, in Illinois, in the central Illinois. Washington, Illinois was very hard hit with an F4, F5 tornado, I believe. And this song definitely reminds me of that circumstance. Just keep believing. My thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by that Washington, Illinois tornado. It was definitely a scary time to be in the Chicagoland area because we had no idea what was going on. Definitely weird outbreak there, but my thoughts and prayers do go, and that meaning definitely seems to translate over to that situation very, very nicely, I guess you'd say, just to just keep the faith. Our second track here is Best Day of My Life. This song begins with an acoustic guitar and banjo led opening. They give the song an upbeat vibe similar to Imagine Dragons in a way for sure. It's really, really interesting how similar those two intros are if you were to place those songs side by side. I really like that. They seem to borrow one another's intros. They're very interesting there. As the song continues, the comparisons and likeness between these two songs, It's Time and Best of My Life, continues with some catchy, passionate vocals. And when I say catchy, I mean if you listen to the song now, today, you'll still have it in your head for a week. This chorus is just, it's well done. It's very, it's not over the top done. It's just very subtle, and just the vocals on that chorus especially will be in your head forever. As I said, with passionate vocals as well as some well executed instrumentation by way of simple acoustic guitar chords as we get down to it, and heart pounding drums based around that chorus as well. Very, very nice song there. And that's definitely the breakthrough single that the band has had and played all over the radio in the Chicagoland area throughout the country as well. All right, the third track here is Luck. This is an interesting song. This song starts out with an interesting sounding drum and vocal pairing that seems to travel throughout the song and kind of gets lower and slowing down during the chorus, as the theme of the song seems to shift to that of maybe happiness to self-reflection to sadness, as the band seems to be reading an open letter towards their families. As I said before, they moved from Boston to Brooklyn. It seemed like they got up and left, and they just wanted to follow their dreams. They took the better opportunity, and the line that really indicates me towards that in this song is, please just listen, because I don't ask for much. I am my own man. I make my own luck. Excuse me if I totally butchered that. The lyrics are very highly personal, obviously, for sure. But there's a genuinely touching yet extremely positive spin on them for sure. You would think, it's more a depressed song, which it is when you get down to it with the music, but it's just it has an extremely powerful and extremely positive vibe, as I just said. Very, very nice, very well done by the band there. The fourth track here is Hit It. My favorite track overall, just a whole bunch of things, and I'll get to that now. This is a fast-paced, old-fashioned rock and roll song that seems to be about a missed romantic opportunity, or maybe after a rebound, after a breakup even. It seems what it seems to be suggesting. Right from the start, the band has an infectiously catchy quality to it, especially with the tempo changes. It seems to get very catchy, then seems to slow down, then seems to get very upbeat again, and very interesting there. Up down, up down, up down, like a roller coaster. And the creative guitar riffs and loops that are used. It starts out with a short, distorted guitar riff that ends up just looping around a couple times throughout the song, and a vocal pairing opening that builds up and explodes into a fast-paced chorus led by some interesting sounding guitar loops. As I just said, it's done in a different way, that support the great wordplay of the chorus. That seem to be about and used with the rhyming verses that are catchy yet complex at the same time. It's very nice because they are how quickly they are delivered and sung. It kind of reminds me of Rap God by Eminem in a way because of that. After the main chorus, the song again seems to slow down with some very personal lyrics and picks up speed again, and towards the end with some great group vocals as well as a banjo solo and vocal pairing that reminds me of Mumford and Sons, definitely in a way. Very fast paced, will get you want to be dancing, I would say. Overall, the song is my favorite on the EP because of its fun, lighthearted vibe, as well as some similarities, I would say, to Vampire Weekend's Dying Young and the New Politics Harlem. Both great songs there. I really do enjoy this song. If you don't want to listen to anything else on this EP, definitely check this song out. Alright, the fifth track here, and finally, is Home. This track finishes off the EP with a bang. It seems to showcase the band's love of writing stories through music and their love of classic rock with some classic guitar riffs is there as well. The song starts out with a slow opening, then quickly builds up with some heavy classic rock inspired guitar riffs, as I just said. The main chorus of the song features some interesting tempo changes and instrumental work that includes a kick drum that definitely in a way reminds me of My Chemical Romance. very nice there, and the guitar and vocal pairing that there's both heartfelt and inspirational at the same time. Very nicely well done. And towards the end of the song, the band goes actually back to their Boston roots by including a traditional Irish folk style inspired bridge. Very interesting there. Um, very church, very gothic sounding, and interesting group vocals that sound like a choir. Speaking of churches, we've seen this choir sound being used a lot. And the first song that comes to mind when I think of that would be Brad Paisley's "Southern Comfort Zone" towards the end of that song. And I think this song, and whenever it is used, it is used properly. There is no way when it can be really overdone. And I really give the band applause for doing that. My thoughts overall, even though this EP has an extremely small sample size, I really like what the band is about. Really like what they're trying to do. They're simply about writing stories and reading them through music, as their claim, Facebook page proclaims. Rather, the music is the enjoyable instrumental work that the band uses to surround their stories. And general love of life is really what I think draws me into the band. I really like bands that are upbeat, have an interesting sound to them as well, are not afraid to take chances. As you see by some of my reviews, I say that a lot in a lot of my reviews because a lot of it's true. Whether the band is using some unique drum patterns or some folk rock inspired guitar work with the acoustic, electric, and banjo work, topped off with some cheery vocals and positive messages on tracks like Believer, Home, and Best Day of My Life, or using just the upbeat vocals as kind of a mask and instrumentations, um, with the cheerful sounding vocals to mask the dark lyrical meanings, similar to Jukebox Ghost. Jukebox Ghost does it a lot. If you don't feel like watching a review, I'll tell you right now. Jukebox Ghost, um, they have cheery, upbeat instrumentation, cheery like vocals, but the lyrics, if you look down them, are so deep and so like heartfelt and so depressed at times. This is definitely where I'm getting that from, and I really see that in songs like "Hit It" and "Walk with the depressed kind of tones, with "Hit It" with the potential breakup, and "Luck" with the kind of abandoning home, kind of wanting the better opportunity and just feeling regret with that for the band members. It seems like. Overall, I do think the band has what it takes to become the next big stars in the mainstream pop charts. As that's what they seem to be going for. They seem to be being played on the radio a lot because of that, um, as well as being accepted by fellow, alternative and indie rock charts and bands like Imagine Dragons, because Imagine Dragons seems to set the tempo with their unique sound, and I think this can continue if the band just continues what they're doing. I like their sound. I like everything they're trying to do. Their positive messages. As I said, I like bands that do that. All right, guys. Well, that's it for my review. Before I end this review, I would also like to mention that I will be starting a new Music Friday series on my Instagram. My Instagram is Quinja QUINJA 1992. That's all one word. This series will be separate from my video series that I'm doing on YouTube here. It will feature new music from upcoming bands that I actually have on my iPod at the moment. The selected songs for most weeks will be within the indie and alternative rock genre, but it's definitely not limited to that. I'm thinking of actually doing about some hip hop in the future and stuff like this. It may not be every week that I post this, but it will be within a period of maybe 2 weeks. It may not be on a Friday either. It may be during the week, like this week's Thanksgiving, so I may do something for that. And we will see. It just depends. But if you're interested in any of that sounds interesting to you, please go follow me on Instagram. I will follow you back when I see it. My Instagram again is Quinja QINJA 1992. I also have a whole bunch of random pictures up there from my life and that I think are pretty interesting. All right, that's it for my review, guys. My upcoming reviews include Lorde with Pure Heroin, which I'm actually writing currently at the moment. I will be doing that. Hopefully, have that written this week rather, and recorded next week, late next week. Hopefully, my friend Bobby Myers, Art Candles HP. Definitely check his stuff out. Some other upcoming reviews I have. Some Eminem with the Marshall Mathers 2 LP. We have Avenged Sevenfold and Blue October. I want to get to the album. Civil Wars, I do want to do that eventually. We will see with that with my friend Lance Moss TV. I haven't really gotten into that yet. Some Anthony Green as well. Some Dr. Dog, The Strokes. I want to get to the 2012 album. Some Tan Vampires. Some the 1975. Some Tom Odell. Imagine Dragons. I'm kind of putting that off. Hailstorm. Alter Bridge as well. You have some Frank Ocean. You have some Jet Gladstone. His second album as well. I want to review that and look into that. Some Tom Petty, maybe Eric Church, Jimmy World, Theory of a Dead Man as well. I also do take requests, so if you're interested in any of those, some Group Love, some Black Veil Brides. I want to do that as well. What else do I have here? I've got some Frank Ocean, as I said, the Neighborhood. Eventually, I feel like I'm so behind with some of these reviews. I want to get done with this. So if you guys also do have any requests, I would definitely do that. I would put those first after I do the Lord review. I also want to do some country music as well, like I said. So maybe some Toby Keith as well. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Album Corner. If you do enjoy this video, please subscribe. Definitely recommend this EP, American Authors EP. I would give it a 5 out of 5 as of right now. I think as of right now, the band is doing things perfectly, and if they continue, they will become a big mainstream success, as I just said. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching this episode of Every Corner. Please subscribe again. Give it a like. Please share. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.